You tell me if you like this word, would it be a word or a phrase? Your recommitment to your faith, being Suzanne. And we're leading into the weekend for the big wedding,
Yes, we are. We are days away. It's
days
pretty
away.
pretty. We were talking the other day. It seemed like when we first did this, back in December, it seemed like it was just a couple months away, which it was more than, it's going to be 9 months away, but it always has felt like it's just days away, and now the days are days.
Days are days.
Days are days.
Well, it did go fast, but in a great way. I was thinking, as we were getting ready, I'm already starting the laundry, Dad. I'm getting the Edwards clan in motion to
Hmm.
get us out the door Thursday night. And I was going back and reflecting back, and I need you to fill some gaps here because what I remember being at the lake house years ago and sitting on the back porch with you, and we were talking and catching up, and you had said, well, I met a woman and I really like this one. Like, kind of how you said it, like, I really like this woman. And I was like, all
Hmm.
right. And you had been dating, I feel like I would use the word cautiously dating. Like, you were very much, you would tell me, like, yeah, I went on this date. What wasn't feeling it. She was very much I feel like one time very aggressive, like, well, and you were like, like, and I was just so proud because I was like, Dad, you're reading all the signs. Think I feel like you're reading the signs and you're doing this good, you're doing it right. But this conversation was different. And I thought it'd be fun if you could just share, how you met Suzanne, and knowing that you 2 were not in the same geographic area,
Yeah.
what about her led you to say, "Alright, I'll do this long distance thing. I'll make this whole dating thing a little bit more challenging."
Yeah, that's a good question. I will go back and say you're exactly right with Suzanne as far as just, recommitting to faith, because she is a believer, and that makes a big difference with regards to where you are in a relationship. And not
Yeah.
to get into that story, but your mom was a believer, and then in the second marriage, Shelley
Mm.
was, you thought she was a believer. It turned out she wasn't a believer. That made it difficult. So that it is when you have someone that's in it with you, and you can talk about these things, and somebody to do a morning devotional with and really just connect, nothing of intensity other than just honoring God and through a passage of a reading.